Our next guest only stepped down from the Federal Reserve earlier this year. We are now joined by former Kansas City Fed President Esther George, her first TV interview since retiring from her role in January. It's so great to have you, President George. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you, Sarah.
And now you can let loose because you're not in the Fed anymore. So my guess is that you think they've got more work to do on the inflation fight, correct?
Well, certainly based on the numbers that we've seen over the last few months, inflation is really flexing its muscle and hanging in there. So I would not be surprised, as the FOMC indicated from their last meeting, that even though they did not raise rates in June, that they may be prepared to do so again, given that inflation. We'll see what the numbers look like this week.
Is there any number that could be moderate enough within core inflation that would make you think, okay, maybe July and then they're done in September? They don't have to go two more?
Well, I certainly expect that during the second half of this year, we are going to see some slowing, and I would expect that to feed through to inflation to some extent. But if you follow the projections that committee has put together, to get to 3.2 by the end of the year would mean we'd need to see some pretty dramatic downshift in this week's report. And so whether or not that happens, it will be just one data point. But I think it's going to have to get closer to 3, certainly, than 4.5 for them to make adjustments in their rate stance.
Do you think they made a mistake by pausing? They didn't call it a pause, but by not raising rates at the last meeting? Would you have dissented if you were a voter?
You know, it's a good question. I actually supported slowing down. I thought the very aggressive rate path that was undertaken during the first half of the year was sure to cause some hiccups. And so we saw some of that come through in the banking system. And I think the committee is getting to a point where they can begin to look around and slow things down a bit, because I'm a firm believer that there are lags there. And I'm also thinking about that balance sheet runoff. And the combination of that, I think, suggests that even as you keep your eye on the potential for future rate hikes, it's probably a good idea to watch how the data unfolds.
Why do you think it hasn't been more impactful? I think one of the biggest surprises of this whole tightening cycle is that, A, we're not in recession, and even the most interest rate sensitive parts of the economy, like autos and housing, are starting to perk up. Who would have thought this after more than 500 basis points of tightening?
So to me, I think we are still living some of these impacts from the pandemic experience. And I think that's going to continue to confound how we understand the data, how things are moving. So auto, for example, I think is a great example. I think the chip issue is still with us, for example. And so prices there, the fact that we have such strong employment, people have income, I think is going to continue to put pressure on that inflation number for a while. And so until those pandemic effects fully work their way through, and many of those are supply side, I think the Fed will be looking at its demand side influence to determine that rate path.